You got my you got my email, and I know you really enjoyed the humor.
I did. I laughed very hard and I showed everyone in the room.
Um, and this is, you might say this is an exaggeration of an exaggeration, but it really makes the point that I'm hoping to make tonight. But when I say exaggerate, you'll see in my examples, they're not really like this extreme. But this is what I feel strongly about many of my students is that we have to find one thing to push um, in our work, whatever it is. And I want to look at some now, and some of them will seem very conventional, like this is Felix Valaton. He's an artist, he was a late impressionist, you would say, might say, for this is painting is from 1919. And he's not as well known as some of the others, but I'm just really enjoying his work lately. And I know that most of us are landscape painters, for better or for worse. It's nothing wrong with landscape, but come on, there's a lot more we could be painting. You'll see some really great landscapes tonight, like this one. But you'll see some other paintings as well. But regarding this one, what's different about this as a landscape in the park? It's just like our park down there with the little creek running through it. Does anything seem different though, or that stands out about it? And I don't mean the red umbrella.
It almost looks like a cliff or something.
Yeah, it looks cavernous. Yeah, that water looks cavernous.
Yeah, like you could fall. Yeah, that's a good one. And also, I think that bold diagonal tree in the upper right
Mm-hmm.
is just making some kind of bold move. Just if you take that out visually, it's just a much less dramatic painting. Okay, now here's our friend, Ian Roberts. Everyone knows Ian Roberts now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
YouTube.
If you don't
Absolutely.
look them up. And if you don't all know this by now, I put the names of all these pieces I show you in the email in order. So this is Ian Roberts' landscape painting, and I love it. And what is it what is it about this that doesn't look like every other landscape painting you see?
There's so much of the reflection in most of the painting and very little of the actual bushes on the top of the reflection.
Yeah, it's mostly the reflection.
Mm-hmm.
And he just has some kind of a scene or detail up in the upper left corner. Is that Ruth? You have your something on because I keep hearing my echo. Hello?
I don't have anything on. I'm not making any noise, so I'm not sure what's causing the
All right.
problem.
I
Let me
thought
try, you know what? Let me try turning my light off, just in case that's doing something.
I just find it difficult to listen to myself as I'm talking in that way. And this has never happened before. But anyway, Ian Roberts is a very dramatic painting. Drama of shapes, drama of contrast of light and dark. It is simple to do. I mean, we're all tomorrow morning we'll be out there painting, and some of you will be there, and we've got a pond with reflections in it. It's you don't have to go very far to find most of these things. Now, here's some night paintings. I'm going to show you a few. This is a Romanian painter from 2023, oil on canvas, and I love it. Do you guys like it?
It's very dark.
Is that good or bad?
Um, I mean it's a nighttime painting, so I guess it is what it is. But I find it difficult to look at because it's so dark.
Mhm. Okay.
It looks like they added fireflies in there though. Just
Yeah.
dark. And there's different colors too, I'm noticing, orange and more yellowish.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be out there just in whenever, the 15th. painting in the dark. So I grabbed a few of these, and this one, for me, it was the mood that grabbed me. It's just about a mood
Mhm.
and a feeling of darkness. That's, as you study it, quite complex and very organic, and a lot of interesting forms going on.
Mhm.
And here's another one, big dramatic shapes. Surprisingly, this is Egon Schiele.
Mm.
You know, the Kiss. He's so famous for the Kiss thing,
Yes.
the Art Deco like. And but he's another artist that I did not fully appreciate until more recently. But I'm finding works like this that are really, really stunning. It's a nighttime painting. It's called Summer Night from 1907. And keep it in mind, put these on your phone when we go out there at night for inspiration. That's what I do when I go to Friday Night Figure, when I go to plein air. I always put a couple things on my phone that I can pull up as I'm working for inspiration. Now, another artist that keeps surprising me because I keep finding new works by him that I haven't seen. This is Monet.
Mm.
A, a Seascape Shipping by Moonlight from 1864. Pretty much monochromatic, isn't it?
That's very cool.
Blue, black, and white, and lots of drama, a lot of vigorous brushwork. And I love it. Here's a Japanese artist. I imagine this is a woodblock print, since I don't know if it is. So it seems very complex for that. I don't have the medium, but I won't even try to pronounce the name, but however he or she did it, however, whatever it's called, it's really quite a very stunning nighttime scene. That again, it captures a feeling. There's a feeling about nighttime that's different than daytime. And we're less accustomed to it. We spend much more of our waking life out at least outside in the daytime, right?
Mhm.
And we'll see when we're out in the cemetery this coming week. There's a whole different feeling, and that's what we need to try to respond to with our art. Now, but coming back into the daylight and some practical, I know I'm like harping on certain things here, but this is Courbet, who I love, the French painter Courbet, 1864. Why do you think I showed you this, all you plein air painters that paint in the park? Because we have right around Paint Creek, all around town, we have these little waterfalls.
Mm.
So we've got it right here at our doorstep. And learning to capture it, we'll probably do a study in the Wednesday morning plein air class of water. And that'll be an opportunity for the class to explore it. But he really captures it. All it is rocks and water, pretty much. But the water really feels like it's falling over the rocks. Here's Felix Vallotton again. The title is a long French title, so I'll skip it, but it's from 1901. And I just think it's beautiful. We talk about, we've been talking, some of us have been talking about going out, you went to the workshop and he wouldn't let you use any green, right? And here, the guy that did, Mark McAfee, that did the workshop, and there's a little bit of green in this, but it's not the typical colors that we use when we think landscape painting. It's blue and yellow. Now, this is a woman that I discovered recently, a living woman, Kathleen Robbins. And I have no title for it, but I want a lot of you to look her up because I think she's a contemporary landscape painter that you'll like. I looked at quite a few of her pieces now. I just grabbed this one, but It was done with oil bars. I know I don't like to spend a lot of time talking about materials, but sometimes it's good to try something different. Do you know what oil bars are?
Mhm.
No.
Well, they're big oil pastels. They're real big. And this is a pretty big painting done with them. And I think it's great. Does anyone hate it?
Mm-mm. I like the
No.
colors.
Colors? What about the forms?
I like the forms. I mean, she's all about the shapes.
Yeah,
It's a
Yeah.
little blocky for me, but I don't hate it.
blocky. Mhm.
Yeah, it's very flat.
It's quite flat. That's what modern painting is, right,
Mhm.
Andrea? We talk about that on
Yeah.
Wednesday night. But anyway, she's one I hope you'll look up. I think you'll learn to really like her work. Now here's one more typical, perhaps. I never heard of this artist. It's Swedish, so I will not pronounce it. But why, even though it's very traditionally beautiful, it is sort of a twilight painting. And he has the woman picking the white Queen's Anne lace, white gown, and very conventional idea of picking flowers in the field. But notice that he does put that, what's it called, the morning star, the first star at night,
Mhm.
right in the center, dead center. And then he puts that white farmhouse on the very edge of the painting. With the fields, the white part of the fields pointing to us to it.
Mhm.
So he triangulates the major white points in the painting. The woman holding the flowers with the flowers in the dress are the white, the star above, and then the barn. There's like the eye triangulates between them. Even the soft, darker violet gray clouds beneath the star. Oh, there's a moon in there too. I just noticed that.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool.
But he's thinking about how he's directing our eye through this rather quiet, subtle painting. And I think it's a herald. Yes, that must be a man. It's not spelled like we do. But this is a woman. I've never met her, but she's a friend of one of my good friends from grad school. This woman's name is Stephanie Sanchez. And it's just, you can follow her on most of these, not most, but many of these people like Stephanie, you can follow on Instagram. And I recommend it. Really kind of free, bold, plein air painting.
She wasn't the one that came to the plenary, was it? Or was she?
To the plein air, no.
No, okay. I don't remember what her name was.
She's
The
in
one you
California.
invited.
Stephanie's in California. She is a friend of my friend Deborah Kirkland, who did come to Art Night In once or twice. Now, this is an artist I just love looking at his paintings because they're very deceptively simple. They're not simplistic, but they're simple. Will Gabaldon. I follow him on Instagram. It's pretty much all green. I don't like he probably photographs himself and maybe he wants the glare in, but I don't like the glare. But I just like the greenness of it. He just surrenders to the green. He doesn't feel like he has to put a red cardinal in the trees or anything like that. Holding back is a strategy in good painting. You don't give the viewer everything that's going to make them feel good or warm or fuzzy. This is just simply a beautiful painting, and that's why I put it in there. The light, I can't even. It's an English garden in Munich by someone whose name I cannot pronounce, 1893. Now, everyone likes this, right? I like it. I just think, but he zooms in on the forest. He doesn't like step back and show us the whole tree or everything going on behind the tree. He zooms in and turns it. This is, remember, 1893. He turns it into pretty much an abstract painting. I like this one, and I know you'll like this one too. That's why I put it in, because unfortunately our more diligent beach painters, or sunset beach painters, are not here tonight. But if you're gonna paint a beach and sunset, really do something with it, like he's doing here. It's bold, it's aggressive, it's dramatic. You don't need the little kids with their pails on the beach. You don't need a sailboat in it. Don't give the viewer everything they're already used to expecting. And a barn. If you have to paint a barn, like many, I don't want to go too far with my criticisms, but any art teacher will see a lot of barn paintings. And the question is going to be, can you do anything just a kind of fresh with it? And this guy does, this Neil Callender, puts it right in the middle of the painting, but breaks it up with that shadow and makes some other bold decisions with the color and the light and darks going through it. And it's not red. But I like the whatever it's resting on, the bricks or whatever, they kind of have a violet cast. That's pretty clever with all that green going on. And there's a couple of touches of that lavender up in the upper structure of the barn. Do you see that? Okay. Now I'm going to show you some 3 paintings by this artist that I really hope you'll pay attention to, similar to what we just saw. But this artist is Richard Claremont. I've been following him for a while. I have 3 of them. First one, this is called Riverbend. Very impasto, painterly, aggressively painted, very aggressive color, but it's a nice realistic landscape. Here's another one by Richard Claremont, a little more realistic because it's called Golden Corner. And it's just a corner of a room with the sunlight coming in, as it often does, either at a certain time of the morning or a certain time of the afternoon. And we all have houses. We all live in a house with windows, right? And everyone has seen this. Now, all you have to do is paint it. Here's another one. Bigger, this is Richard Claremont, called Orange Interior at Midday. So it's not the raking sunlight quite. It's a cooler sunlight, but it's someone's living room. It's very, very common. I mean, that's not what mine looks like, but probably most of us, it's just a very common living room. And I have a quote by him that I'm going to read. He said, "When the sun pours in and the furniture and shadows start having a quiet conversation of their own, in the middle of the day, a room can glow from the inside." And I think especially what he said about the elements of form, he's saying here that the furniture and their shadows start having a conversation. And that's really important to think about that and how that works visually. Obviously, they're not talking literally, but there are relationships going on of subject and color and shape that I think is just, I experience that every time I draw and paint. Okay, not too many more, but I had to put this in because I just love it. I don't know who this artist is. William Carroll. That's all I know. I know I've talked endlessly about the importance of doing value shape studies. I don't have a painting to go with this, but I just think this is quite stunning. And this is our friend Richard Dievenkorn, or my friend. I know a lot of you don't like him, but Richard Dievenkorn's it's from 1967, gouache, charcoal, and ink on paper. Now, I go to Friday night drawing all the time because I think it's really important to just have your hand in it all the time, and drawing the figure especially, and trying different media. And Dievenkorn, I probably told some of you this, but he was in the Bay Area, and he met with a group. Even after he was a Richard famous artist, he would meet every week with a group, one night a week, and draw the figure. That's what this is from. This is another artist I study. I mean, I follow him on Instagram. He's up in Quebec, Francois Dupuis. He does a lot of monotype. This is a monotype of a cafe. I wish David Prescott was here. Maybe I'll send this to him later, because he sits over at Oasis Coffee and does a lot of drawing. And we all find ourselves in restaurants or what have you. And if we get in the habit, he carries one of those real little sketchbooks, and I have one I've shown you. I forget what they're called, but
Are they moleskins?
Yeah, moleskins, yeah. And then this is, of course, a monotype that he would have developed later, but it's great. And this is a woman, I've actually interacted with her a little bit. She's our age, in New York City, P.D. Brown. And it's just something that we've all seen and we've all done, right? We're in a restaurant with our family, our friends, and someone gets up and takes a picture of everybody where they're all turning around like that guy. And it's just a everyday life occurrence.
Mhm.
And she took a picture of someone taking a picture of their friends at dinner and painted it. Not exactly like a profound idea, but it's quite a charming painting. Now, if you do want to remain conventional, there's always this, the kind of 19th century woman in one of those long dresses with fixing the flowers. This is Child Hussam. It's really a great painting, I think. I like the painting. And I haven't seen anyone do that I've talked about quite a bit in the past is a painting where there's a view out the window. I've shown you examples. Maybe I have not shown you the right examples. This is almost monochromatic. She just has some red in the flowers. But you get everything I think you want in this, and you have the view out the window on top of it. This is Hammershøi. We have a great one at the DIA. I don't know where this is, but it's called the White Door. You may have seen it. Danish painter. No people in it. It's just the interior of a room with a stove and the door open. It's called the White Door, and his paintings are known for mood and mystery. Sometimes they do have figures, but painting an empty room can really convey a lot of feeling. Rooms have life and character, especially when there's nobody in them. Like here. I will try to pronounce this. This is another Danish painter, Helene something, from 1919. I just couldn't resist putting it in. A pink house in a snow-covered field. Beautiful light, beautiful color. And here's another snow scene by the same artist earlier, Will Gabaldon. You can follow him on Instagram. It's called Greta in the Snow. 12 by 12 inches. Very delicate color in the coat, and the rest of it monochromatic. And I did not try to color adjust it. I think that knowing his work a little bit, this is what he wanted for color. This is the contemporary portrait painter that we used to look at a lot. This goes back to 1996, Elizabeth Peyton. So a lot of people want to paint portraits, but the challenge is often to make it not be stuffy, like
Mhm.
portrait painting can be, and she does it here. I don't like all of her portraits, but this one I do.
It looks more like an illustration.
It has a little bit of an illustration feel, yeah. Yeah. Jumping back down to Spain's in 1600s, Zurbarán, great. I think he was a contemporary of Velázquez, the other great Spanish painter from that period. But Zurbarán painted these incredible little still lifes. 1633. It's called Still Life, a Plate of Candied Fruit. And it doesn't take much to come up with a intricate but very just simply beautiful feel of light and shape and the rhythm among those pieces. I think it's like candied fruit. Is that what yeah, that's what it's called. He often put his still lifes, like he painted a biscuit you've probably seen before and other things like that on the silver plate or pewter plate. The coolness of the silver contrasting with the warmth of the wood table and the edible parts of it. Just a great painter. Only a couple more. Egon Schiele again. Sunflowers. I said something to someone, not any of you, but it's quite a while back, about sunflowers. I didn't want to ever see a sunflower painting again. So I'm doing this for penance. I'm showing you a sunflower painting by Schiele. And he just does something different with it.
Mhm.
I don't think I have to belabor it. It's just I just love it.
Yeah, it looks like it's after prime, versus the typical sunflower painting that is at full prime or,
Yeah.
full bloom. This is more like, starting to fade and moving into fall.
Well, yeah, it's a good observation because that's Schiele, this kind of
Mhm.
decadence that he reveled in.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's good. And just this one, I know no one's going to do abstract paintings. I wish it'd be nice to see a couple come out of us once in a while because this is just amazing, isn't it? It's called Asteroid, so it's not strictly non-representational, but Forrest Best is the artist, and I can't even say why. It's just whimsical. It does have a feeling of things flying through the air. You might call it decorative, but it transcends all that for me. Okay, thank you for putting up with me again.
Very
Oh,
good.
that was great.
I love
I
it.
really
Thanks for
like
all
that.
the effort.
I like it. I like
What?
it.
I didn't hear.